Fawn
and Matt. We're an interracial couple with 2 kids wanting to do something that highlights the power of friendship and what it means to be in the company of true friends. We're going to move our society away and out of the loneliness epidemic and into a friendlier, happier world. Welcome to our friendly world. Better, stronger, together.
Welcome back to our friendly world, everybody. Hello.
Hello, hello.
How you doing? What?
Hello.
What do you mean?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like H-E double...
I was thinking about...
H-E double hockey sticks?
I was thinking about what I believe is the topic for today, so...
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Can I just tell you what happened last night?
Uh-oh.
All right. So I'm in my recording booth, my voiceover booth. And sometimes I go in there and it's just a simple read. But oh no, I do it 85 times. I'm like, I keep re-listening to it. I'm like, no, again. No, again. 3 hours later, one line said so many times that I think I'm going to go insane, right? But the time goes by so fast because honestly, I love it so much. But it seems like it's really late every time, and the kids are waiting for me. Because usually, like, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, kids, I just have a few auditions to do, and then we'll watch this show together. They're like, all right. So they're waiting for me. So I'm texting them from downstairs. I'm like, are we still on? And I didn't get a text back. And then finally, I get upstairs. One of them is asleep on the couch. The other one, I don't know, is like going up and down from the office area to like their bedroom and stuff. Anyway, so this is what our youngest tells me today. Because I'm like, you guys never texted me back when I said, are we still on for the show? Because it was late. And our youngest goes, I apologize to you with my mouth. Because we were... But I understood exactly what that meant because we were texting. And then both of them texted me, but I didn't see the text. And so the littlest one is like, I came to you and I told you with my mouth. But it wasn't trying to be funny. It was like trying to say, hey, I didn't use the phone. I was like in person. Right. But couldn't tell if I was asleep or not.
Well, sometimes I'll say goodnight to you. I'll stand a foot away and you're asleep. And I'm like, good night, sweet pea.
Anyway, I was just wondering, speaking of communication and everything, and well, wait, you know what? There's something else that's been on my mind. Why is it that whenever we go to a place that has a university, like a city or a town that has a university, why is it always so much fun there? And all the businesses are way better. There's more color, there's more life, there's more open-mindedness, and like it's lighter. Everything moves faster. It just feels not faster in a bad way, just like it's upbeat. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the businesses are more, I don't know how to explain it, more uplifting. They're more colorful. They're more happy. They're more diverse, I guess. Diverse as far as like, you know what? I want a special kind of croissant, or I want like to go to a place with really amazing books or a cool outfit, not just like the standard thing that anyone anywhere in the country can get. You know what I'm saying?
I do, and I have my own theories.
But why? Why can't a small town that is not so city vibed, or why can't, oh, this is going to sound terrible, but why can't older people be forward thinking? Why can't it be elevated in the vibe and even the closeness? Places with colleges, like people are more open to friendships. And they're more able to meet at a coffee shop and sit with a stranger at the same little table. Like, that's to be expected. And I miss that about, like, when I lived in Europe. I loved that. And here in the U.S., you have a certain bubble around you. And if someone crosses it, it's a taboo. You don't do that. I like sharing. I like being close to people. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
do.
we went to a place recently and we ended up having a conversation with the table next to us. Full blown conversation. It was fantastic. Like, we'd known each other all along, like family. I love that. But again, right across the street was a big university.
Right.
All right, theory away.
Okay. So, 4-year university, standard uni. Well, that means every single year, 25% of the student population leaves and 25% of the student population joins, right? It's kind of the nature of it. Well, now all of a sudden you have a quarter of the people. Okay. Maybe they know one person, maybe they know two people on campus, and that's it. So they are completely cast adrift. So they are desperate's not a good word, but it's an accurate word. People are extremely interested in forming connections, especially right at the start of the school year. And couple that with the fact that when you do cast yourself, quote unquote, adrift from like your high school experience, you can reinvent yourself too.
But why does
I
school
want to be
play
called this.
But
I
why,
want to.
why does school have to play a factor in this? Why can't we do this normally throughout life?
And we
what
can.
makes people so complacent? Our theory is people stop with education.
Right.
But you and I have always said, even before we got together, we need to always be learning.
Yes.
We can't stop.
No.
And we're never going to retire.
Right.
Always learn.
Right.
Always be studying
Always
something.
learn, always grow. But it's easy. You know, you go to the club on Tuesdays. It's summertime, so the golf course is going to open. Or, there's a certain, we like also stability and regularity. And when you go away to school or when you attend university or even just change schools, right? Even going from elementary school to, the higher schools, an interesting number of people, but things change. Like your whole reality shifts. And that's what happens when you start university. Your whole reality shifts.
But don't you think that we should live like that all over the place? Because, think about it. Why do these areas tend to be more bustling? Is bustling a good word?
Bustling is a good word.
Like they're more vibrant, they're more alive, they're more rich. And that's because, there's an influx of cash because businesses...
Influx of cash, influx of people.
Right. And that's why businesses thrive in these areas, right?
Right. Yeah. Perfectly adequate theory. Absolutely. And I would watch this transpire. When I was in university, every year we would have people come in and things, and the vibe would shift just a little, sometimes a lot. And, you just rolled with it.
I just think we're onto something. And this is what you and I were working on before everything got shut down in 2020. This is what we were working on. And it just so happened, because things did get shut, that we turned it into a podcast. But this is what we were working on
but everything
develop
again
that
shifted,
kind of community.
Right?
Yeah, well, we're more flexible, so we're like, all right, then let's do this now. But I'm just saying, economically, it just feels like things would be so much better if we tended to really embrace this kind of thought pattern, whatever is created in this university vibe.
Right.
I don't think we should, I want the university vibe always. And what I'm trying to say is, what if there wasn't a university in a particular area? How can we have that kind of community where it's so alive? And alive, rich in many ways. I'm not just talking financially.
And there's a fair number of churches who ask that exact same question, right?
But they're
trying
exclusive.
to build a community.
Churches are
and
exclusive.
You're trying to bring people in, though.
Yeah, but it's exclusive. And you know what? Universities are too.
Hey-o.
Aren't they? But not like a religion. A religion is like, if you are not in this way, then you don't belong to us.
Well, there are religions which are a little more open than that. But
I
see your
very
point.
little.
I see your point.
All right. Anyway,
but it's also the huge influx. It's the 25%. So, like the school I went to, UC Santa Cruz, had like 30,000 people on campus or, that attended. So that means every single year that would be 7,500 people.
And it depends, because I went to a school that is very well known, but it didn't create that kind of community because they were so exclusive.
And there wasn't as many people.
Right.
Because, we dominated the economy.
But they were part of other universities.
Right.
There were other universities in the vicinity.
Yes, but
it's interesting because with all this, I still don't know the right word for it, you guys. With all this like hopping energy, with all this thriving energies, I guess thriving energy is what I'm thinking of, really. Yeah, thriving. With all this thriving energy, this forward thinking and everything, it still blows me away. The article you found today. Do you care to share? Like they're so open. They're so open to making new friends. There's this whole lifestyle, correct?
Correct.
But yet, check this out.
So in England, apparently, you can become the equivalent to a certified public accountant on some level, but you can get your accounting certificate after 12 to 18 months of schooling after you've completed your high schooling. So you've got 19, 20-year-olds graduating with their accounting certificates. And what they're discovering for these 19, 20-year-olds is they're afraid of the phone. Dun, dun, dun.
Now, you said that, and our kids are like, we're not afraid of the phone. And then you're like, no, not the phone, but the phone call.
They're afraid of the phone call. And couple that with they have no idea how they're supposed to act in a meeting. So it's a double. But what really gets accountants is the phone.
I don't think that's totally true.
Well, there is an accounting firm in England. It was Forvis Mazars, and that is has a slash. So I don't know if I'm right about that.
Well, maybe we're talking about a certain type of people.
These are accountants. These are people who.
Well, accountants aren't the most social people.
I kind of want to take a subtle dig at accountants, but these are people who are figuring out, okay, I'm out of high school. What am I going to do next?
Something stable.
Something stable that makes money.
Which kind of goes back to what I was saying about a small town or a town that doesn't have a university. They want stability. There's a certain characteristic. There's a certain character here that's similar, where you're less apt to go to a colorful coffee shop and have interesting food you've never tried before and talk to complete strangers sitting next to you.
Right. Yeah, that can be uncomfortable
safer.
for
You
people.
tend to play it safe.
Yes, and there you go. You're absolutely right, and because you're not so completely cast adrift, because it was a moment of great peace for me when I found out nobody from my high school was going to my university. But I understand now, looking back, I should have been terrified. Nobody. So I had nobody. And in point of fact, I got sick right when I started, yada, yada, yada. And that was a terrible experience because I didn't know anybody. But at the end of it, I came out stronger.
You had the flu. You got a bad cold.
I got a really bad cold.
Right.
Because mommy wouldn't take care of me.
Poor baby.
I know. But anyways. So they're sending them through like courses, like these accountants. They're sending them to courses, and they're conducting mock meetings and mock phone calls for them to get used to
human interaction.
It's a little harsh, but
in-person human interaction.
Let's call it authentic communication.
Live interaction.
Let's talk about, let's describe it.
No, because you can say authentic. You can be authentic on Instagram or authentic.
No, you can't, because...
Yes, you can.
You can't screw up on Instagram.
You can be authentic in your writing.
You can't screw up on Instagram. You can screw up talking to somebody. I can say...
I've screwed up lots on Instagram.
Hey, Sally, when I'm talking to Samantha. You know, and it's like, hang up. I'll just disconnect from the chat.
No.
Right? Yeah. Like if you commit certain faux pas, it's like
they don't know how to turn it around.
Exactly. So hence it's your real, true, authentic self, not your curated authentic self.
First of all, they don't like in-person things, period. I've noticed about Gen Z.
And let's be careful to say they and them, but yes.
Well, okay, the kids are telling me that the people their age don't like to go out and be with a bunch of people.
Right. And just hang out and stuff.
No.
Well, yeah, but that's, again, who knows? Who knows what truth is? All I have is, well, not all, but.
And also, it's just this country. We don't know about other places.
Well, and this is England, though.
Yeah, but, okay, all right.
Yeah, but anyways, I found it interesting. Like, one of the talking points that they have for their training is your first impression is very important. And we know this. Yawn. Say hello even if they know who you are. So you need to say, hello, Fawn. How are you today? This is Bill calling from da-da-da-da.
Why wouldn't you say that?
Why would you?
So I'm used to
if
a
I'm
lot of...
texting you, I don't say,
That's true.
hey, it's Matt. How, you already know because it comes through on your phone, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but if I'm on Zoom or if I'm on a phone call, I'm always like when Wendy calls me, I'm like, Wendy!
That is true. Yeah, but again, that's the phone.
Well, so what are you talking about here?
This is like on the phone, making sure that...
That's what I'm talking about, on the phone.
Making sure. But I was
with
talking...
my mouth.
I was talking about like when we text or when we
okay, got
Insta.
It. No,
when,
I got you. I got you.
Even once we email, once we're past the first email message, right? There's an assumption of the continuation of conversation. And then there was a lot of stuff about professional and meetings and stuff. So you make a list of your talking points before you get started because you're going to lose track of the conversation. Setting the agenda. When it's all done, you summarize. However, what's interesting is they also say, don't do anything else. Be on the phone. Be present on the phone. Don't be multitasking.
Oh, hello. You needed to hear this when we were dating. So Matt and I met at a martial arts school. Okay. And then, so we went to martial arts. We trained. And then usually we would, like, sometimes they would go out to dinner. I couldn't afford to go. And then when we got home, we would be on the phone. And I could tell... Matt would be doing something else while we were talking. I could hear a disconnect. And then sometimes I would hear the ticky-ticky-tack of the computer because he was on the computer at the same time.
Well, I was looking for suave pickup lines.
Stop it. And I was like, it was a turnoff a little bit.
It was.
Because I was like, wow, you're not even completely here with me.
Right.
But I thought, oh, well, I guess that's just because I knew you were a computer programmer and everything. I knew you were a total computer geek, so I'm like, I guess this is the culture. But I've always been present. Like when my friends call, almost all the time stop everything and sit and talk. And then meanwhile, most of my friends, they're always doing like a million other things while we're talking on the phone. But why is it I always get in trouble, by the way? Like if I do something else, they're like, what's that noise in the background? What are you doing? I'm like, I've never said that to you. Like I had this one friend who got so mad at me because she could hear the pots and pans. And to be fair, I think it was really loud. Like if I would hit the spoon on the pot, as I was like, you know how you...
Yeah, it is really loud when you hit the spoon on the pot.
On the other end, it's really loud.
Well, it's really loud in the house.
It is?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Bam,
I'm a loud
bam.
chef. I'm a loud cook.
You know, to get the sauce off of a spoon. Bam, bam.
I didn't know how loud and fast I was until our firstborn was like a little toddler and we went to a toy store. She found like a toy kitchen area. Like, you know how they have those huge play sets where it's a whole kitchen? And all of a sudden, she was mimicking, I want to say both of our moves, because she was moving really fast and banging everything around. Like she was this crazy chef at a very popular restaurant. And I was like, oh my God, where did she get that behavior from? Hello?
There you have it.
That's us. Okay, anyway, moving on.
So kind of the last point that they brought up was you can always remind people that they can call you too, which I thought was interesting. So just trying to build a vernacular of...
And that's hard to say because you don't want to sound desperate like, call me.
Right.
So what do you say? How do you say it?
I have not been through the training, so I don't know how they phrase it and how they bring it
about.
about.
Well, I can tell you what I would say. I'm like, okay, talk to you next time. Bye. Not
Yes.
like, call me, okay?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say call me. I would say maybe something like, so let's talk again next week, or
I'm going to call you next week.
there you go.
You know what? I can't wait to talk to you again next time I get a moment. I'm so looking forward to
And you see, there you go.
blah, blah, blah.
But it also, so just keep in mind that, yeah.
So what else is on that list?
Well, that was the whole list.
That was
Thank
the whole
you.
list? Okay.
Thanks, babe. Just cast me adrift now.
What
I got to
else
come
you
up
got?
with something
What
real
else
quick.
you got?
Oh, point number 7
Oh my
was don't be an a-hole.
Well, I just found it comical that someone has to be trained on talking.
Somebody has to be
Like,
exactly.
you also said that when most people in England, especially, I guess you said, that when the phone rings, they panic.
Yes. Yeah, they're claiming it's an interesting percentage of
It's
people.
interesting because the kids and I were laughing about this because I'm very Persian and I used to be like so open to having company over at all times. And I wanted that when we never really had that. And then I just gave up and I'm like, now if someone knocks on our door, I'm like, and there was a comedian that totally went and did a whole monologue on this and it was hysterical because it was all true. That nowadays, it's not just me, but nowadays, if there's a knock on the door, you hit the ground and you do the army crawl and you're like, everybody get down, shut off the lights, shh, someone's at the door. Who are they? What do they want?
Right.
It's that kind of feeling. And it's the same with the phone. Like, what is that? It's like an uninvited, unknown, stressful situation, perhaps.
Right. Yes.
It's no longer your friend is over.
Right.
It could be a bad person or it could be stress. That's it. And you don't want to hear it. You don't want to deal with it.
And it's almost gotten to the point now, it seems like every time we have guests in the house, they will call when they are on their way, like from the car while they are driving to us.
Well, I do that
so
to a
there's
friend.
no ambiguity as
Yeah.
far as when they're going to show up.
I always do that to a friend just because of the stress factor. I'm like, I'm in your driveway. I'm going to walk up now and knock on your door. I do that now.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I never thought about truly why. I mean, I knew why. Because to take away the stress.
Right.
But yeah, it's wild how things have changed. You don't even realize it. Anyway, that's it. But, I'm from a generation that used to talk on the phone for hours.
Right.
Hours. And I still do with some of my friends when we have time.
Right.
And it's so delicious. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's such a welcome experience when I get a phone call.
It's
from a known
wonderful.
number.
It's like having a slumber party,
And there's a level on me that fundamentally doesn't understand. So if I get a call from an unknown number, boom, voicemail. It's really not a problem. Bye-bye.
Right. Anyway, that's it. Hope you guys are well. Trust you guys are all well. And if you need anything, please reach out to us.
And, give someone a call this week, huh?
Call me.
Be well.